Most people on carnivore think adding fermented foods is off limits, but after 30 days of experimenting, I saw results I wasn't expecting: better digestion, better energy, and even a noticeable difference around my waistline. Let me explain what happened. I've been carnivore for over 3 years now, and it's been incredible for my energy, inflammation, and recovery, and so forth. I've lost quite a bit of weight as well, but I started to notice an issue back earlier this summer when I took an antibiotic. My gut seemed to basically get destroyed by this antibiotic. And I only took the antibiotic for 3.5 days, but I stopped pretty quickly and I started to look at ways to work on getting my gut back in order. And the first thing I did was I added some cottage cheese and some yogurt into my diet. And so I did that for, a few weeks to probably a month to get my gut back in order, and just get feeling good again. And so I did that. And as I did more research about fermented foods, I kind of got sold on the ability to do fermented foods. So I started out somewhat small, which is what I still pretty much do today. Um, Most of what I eat is still carnivore based, animal based fermented foods. So we're talking about things like yogurt, goat yogurt, stuff like that, that's fermented with live and active cultures. Good culture cottage cheese, it has live and active cultures. Kefir, these are all dairy type of products, right? And for the most part, I will take those three things. I'll take a little bit of kefir, I'll put a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of cottage cheese on my plate, and I will mix it in with my meat as I eat and get that good, bacteria in there, right? So I should say that this is actually called the living carnivore diet. It consists of eating, whatever type of meat that you normally would eat with carnivore, right? And then your fermented foods for the living piece, which is the active cultures, right? So your live and active cultures. Um, this has actually been coined the living carnivore diet by Dr. Sean O'Mara. So if you're not familiar with Dr. Sean O'Mara, go check him out, check out his videos, and he has all kinds of information out there about why the fermentation process takes out all the carbohydrate, why it takes out your um, the plant toxins. If and this is if you're doing any vegetables, if you're just doing dairy fermented or whatever, that's completely different, obviously, because that doesn't have those plant toxins. But it takes all that stuff out, and it is very beneficial because of all of the good bacteria for your gut. So I did this for a short time and I wanted to see if my digestion would get better, how it would affect my sleep, recovery, different things like that. And within a few weeks, I felt a big difference. I could just, tell a huge difference, really. And, some of the things are like smoother digestion, less bloating, which sometimes I would get bloating from dairy before. I don't really have that at all now. More consistent energy and better recovery, just better feeling, like my going to the bathroom is very normal. It always kind of was pretty good for me, but it just seems like it's even better. And maybe there's a little bit of a placebo effect there. I don't know. But just altogether, I feel so much better. And I've noticed a difference around my waist as well. So, why does this all work? What's happening? Fermented foods feed the good bacteria in your gut. That helps to lower inflammation. It improves nutrient absorption, and it even impacts visceral fat and reduces visceral fat. And that's a huge thing. Visceral fat is the worst type of fat you can have. You have visceral fat like around your organs, around your heart, and so forth. And that can be a major problem. Now, carnivore is going to definitely help that, but the fermented foods on top of the carnivore seems to be even better yet. So that's what I have been doing, right? It improves your gut. You just feel so much better. Your hormones and your metabolism get better as well. So if you've actually had some trouble with, with your metabolism, with losing weight, losing some of the inches around your waist, with your gut, maybe you're on carnivore and you still have some gut issues, that type of thing, then I think that this is something you could really try for, a few weeks and see how it goes. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm still carnivore, okay? So everything that I've mentioned there was all animal based foods through that were fermented, right? Now you can do other foods, even vegetables that are fermented. I know many people that do that. I have had some sauerkraut here and there, which technically would be a vegetable. But here's the thing: when it is fermented, you lose all of the carbohydrates that were in there and you get rid of all of the plant toxins. So you no more have that. It's it's not like it is a plant food anymore. And it's not really that you're eating so much of this to be like a food, but this is more of like a condiment, like a sauce, that type of thing for your meat, as a carnivore. And it's just a little bit that you need to get the healthy bacteria, the good bacteria. You get, millions of these bacteria just through a little bit. Like I can take, just this much of yogurt and kefir and dip it in with my meat and then chew it down and swallow it down. And I'm getting millions of good bacteria into my gut that's going in there, and it's going to work on lowering inflammation, even doing this stuff better than what just carnivore alone does. And that's the big thing there, right? You get the best of both worlds of carnivore and getting these fermented foods for your gut health, for fat burning benefits, and it's all within the carnivore framework. So, if you've been curious about experimenting with fermented foods while staying on the carnivore diet, try it for a few weeks. Track your digestion, track your sleep, track your waistline, your measurement with your waistline. I'd love to hear your results. Drop them in the comments below and let me know how it's going.